Alrighty, everybody, welcome into the Collector's Domain. And in this video, I want to talk about what I've been doing recently. And I want to talk about this YouTuber that has bad takes on Magic the Gathering um, collector boosters. So we'll get into that later. But what I'm doing as of lately, I'm still collecting Magic. I started collecting Funko Pops now. Um, with Magic the Gathering, I'm still playing it. Um, and still really enjoying it. I actually just opened up the pre-release the other day of the Hobbit, so that's why you're seeing some cards like Smog the Magnificent and the Queen of Dale so far. Those are the ones I got from the pre-release, and those are just basic level, basic tier, uh, pre the standard play cards. Now, those are not considered as they can be collectible cards, but they're more built for play. And there's a big difference between collector's booster packs and um, play booster cards. And the big difference is price wise. Um, and with the collector booster, you're getting cards that you can collect. Now you can play them the same, but they're built for collecting. That's the big difference between play boosters and collector's boosters. Now, there's a Jumpstart booster pack, which also is another form. You can collect those as well. Um, you can play those right off the bat. So they stuck a set of cards into the pack. I don't know how many's in the pack. I'd have to look, but it's enough for you to shuffle and play against one other person. That's what they built that for. Sort of like a welcome deck into Magic the Gathering. Now, um, and then you got your bigger stuff, which is the commander decks, which are going over all the decks. This commander decks are usually they consist of 100 cards, and then you have one basic card that you can build around, and it has to be a legendary creature. Otherwise, if it's not a legendary creature, you cannot use that. Okay, so all your cards have to match the mana color that you pay for that commander to come out. For example, if the commander costs, let's just say, a red and blue, and then mono, which is the gray color, you're gonna build him as a red and blue mono, which means you can have artifacts in there, and then you have to have red and blue mana colored cards in there also, which is how that works. And then you got your standard gameplay, which is 60 cards, no commander, and just shuffle them all together. And that's another standard of play that most people don't do anymore. A lot of the people I know, they do commander because of the social aspect of it. But I do like standard because you can have matching cards within a deck and you can have up to four. In commander, you cannot have more than one single card in your deck. So you have to have enough to fit the 100 cards and have one single card in that deck. Now the mana can be the same color. Okay, it doesn't have to be different mana, but I hope that makes sense to you guys. And that's a majority of what you're getting out of Magic. And the Commander deck is another one you can buy outright and you can collect those as well. So my whole binder consists of a bunch of play booster packs. Um, do I want to get collector boosters? Yes, but they're a bit out of my price range, and I think they need to bring the prices on collector boosters down because who wants to pay like $40 for a set of like I think it's like 14 they come per pack, and not knowing if you're going to get that money's worth back. That's why I'm like cautious about wanting to buy collector's boosters. But I am going to give it one try at some point and see what happens and see if I like it. But yeah, that's the majority of all the styles of playing and all the styles of packs. Now, there are other packs out there, like the starters pack. Okay, it consists of pretty much 200 card decks, I want to say, and then well, no, I'm not sure what I think it's built around the idea of the commander, but it's a basic how to get started, and it shows you everything, and it brings everything you need to get started in the player's beginner's box. Sorry. And then every set that comes out has those, and then you got other sets like you got the standard set, which they do still sell. It's not as popular as it once was, but it does still sell. And then you also got the I think I won over them all. You got the commander, yeah. Uh, but yeah, these are all the styles of play that they have out. Oh, and the there's the bundle, which you get 9 packs out of, 9 packs to open and boost play boosters. And then there's the let me see what the other one's called. One second. All right, and then there's the gift bundle, which consists of 9 standard play booster packs, which is the same as a bundle. And then you got 1 premium collector's booster, which you're actually getting away good with this box. And when I even read down even more, 1 traditional foil booster, 30 basic land cards, 1 oversized downspin life counter, which is a 20 dice, 1 foil card storage box. Now that would be cool to have. 2 reference cards. So you're getting away pretty good with that gift bundle. Now, um, I'm trying to think what other bundles there are. So we went over the play boosters. We went over the collector's boosters. We went over the starters, the beginner's box. We went over the jump start players packs, and we went over the gift bundle. Oh, and there's another one where it's you're collecting all the scenes from like one set. So example, this like each one of them have a scene set, which Spider-Man did, Marvel did, all of them did. I don't know when they started all this like other stuff with Magic the Gathering, because I've been away for a little while. I've been away for like 7 years, I want to say, and or probably less. And now that I'm playing, I see a whole bunch of variety of types of cards and that keep coming out now. Like we have the secret layers now, which is you got to order that online, but that's Beyond Universe and or Universes Beyond, which is what essentially the Hobbit is. Now, on my opinion on this, I do like some of them, but Magic the Gathering had a really nice core root of way to play and really cool storytelling back then. Um, and there's really cool creatures within the Magic the Gathering universe that I think they should stick to, and I hope they go back to at some point. Now they're still releasing their own sets, which I actually do collect some of their own sets. So let me go over some of the sets that I've collected recently that are still related to Magic the Gathering. So let me pull my app up here. So, all right. So a lot of the like a lot of Magic the Gathering has like Aether Drift, Aether Drift, sorry, Aether Drift, was their own set. Lauren Eclipsed, that is a set I still collect. Not as much. And then the other one, Tarkura, Dragonstorm. That's the other one I want to collect. And then there's a whole bunch of others in between Assassin's Creed and Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy, when that came out, it was part of they've been releasing quite a few since I've been back. And Final Fantasy has been one of the most hardest ones to find because it's not as publicized. Like I have not seen any in Target, but when I go to Target, I see Ninja Turtles. I can see the Hobbit when they actually released that, which the actual release for the Hobbit is August the 14th, but the pre-release was like this past weekend. Um, and then you have then so I said Ninja Turtles, Spider-Man, Marvel. You can Avatar: The Last Airbender has been a little bit harder to find. I haven't seen that at Target, but I've seen that at local game shops. And it's just one of those things that like some of it's not publicized as much and the rest of it is. And Marvel has been one of the most publicized sets that have come out. And that made everybody else notice the Hobbit now that it's coming out. So, but we're seeing people go crazy over the Hobbit. And there are some big chase cards in the Hobbit set, but when I do have a chance, I want to buy a collector's booster from the Hobbit just so I can have like the better cards. Um, and like I said, there's stuff I've been diving into with Magic the Gathering, and then others I haven't. So it just depends on what you're willing to buy and spend your money on. See, if you're playing frequently or you're playing casually like I am sometimes, then you want to go out and buy the play boosters. But I also want to have that experience where because I do collect, where I can buy those collectible boosters once in a while and see what I pull from those. So in the future, I'm probably gonna get one of those. I might even make a short of pulling it on here just to show you guys what I get. But beyond that, I don't think I'm gonna be doing very many pulls on the channel, showing you guys very many pulls on the channel because the experience is more fun for me when I'm doing it around actual people and I'm doing it at the spot I bought the pack at, because that's normally the best experience I get, and that's a lot of fun. So, um, but yeah, if you're getting into Magic the Gathering, there's a whole variety of stuff you can do. And then there's learning the mechanics and learning to build the decks yourself, tweaking the commander decks, stuff such as that. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to playing more, and I'm looking forward to what the future holds for Magic the Gathering. As for sets coming out, there's nothing I'm too crazy for right now. I haven't really heard anything coming up, but I know Star Wars has one coming out in the future. Star Trek. Um, there's a few that are coming out. A lot of people are talking about a Legend of Zelda set, which I am going to go crazy for. Like, when I find out that comes, I'm actually going to probably set money aside and then hold on to some money for that set. Because that's something that means a lot to me. So, um, but yeah, and then you gotta watch because you got people online that create these proxy cards that consist of cards from like Pokemon. Now, people make those up with AI or they proxy those cards and then build them themselves and then use them in play. And I have a take on that. I don't care for proxies, but they're cool if you can, they're cool. They're cool cards to. They're pretty cool in general, like looking at them. But you gotta watch because just make sure you're tracking value of cards because sometimes you're gonna find that people have proxies of the cards that you have in your deck, or they have proxies of cards that are already out. Like Smog the Magnificent, the gold card, okay? People are already making copies of that. So just be cautious who you buy from, who you trade with, and look at do your use a value checker, stuff like that. And also understand and know and look at what you're getting into when you get these cards. So, um, and then one more thing before I get into other business on this channel, is or in this video, is I'm actually working on looking for cards right now for it's called a sliver deck. Now, slivers are creatures that they run different colors, but they all connect with each other. It's like one of the most annoying decks anybody could have, but it's totally fun to play when you have them. So, and back when I first played and I beat my first professional level card player, Magic the Gathering card player, I beat him with the sliver deck, and he was playing a mill deck. So yeah, everybody like I had people behind me like an anime just being like, "Oh, do this attack," and I and I defeated him that way. So in general, I'm a good like Magic the Gathering player. I wouldn't say the best, but I am good enough to like play against people and face them 1-to-1. So all right, now on to other stuff. Now, as you've seen, I've been collecting uh, Funko Pops. Um, Funko Pops are actually pretty cool to collect, but the value doesn't shift too much. Um, but they're really cool to collect, and over time they may go up. But I've been going to a shop that sells them at a discounted price, and that's where I've been picking them all up from. So, if you're wondering where I got all of them recently, there is a place in Dallas here called Movie Trading Company that has an establishment that is pretty much all like collectibles, like, and it goes outside of collectibles. It's like goes into music too. So it's an example of something. If I was to run a store, that may be the kind of store I want to run. So, but yeah, that's a local shop that likes to trade stuff, buy, trade, sell used and old items, sort of like an old video game store, but more complex and has more to it. So, um, but yeah, so I'm keeping an eye out for certain ones, but I'm mainly only gonna collect the superhero ones because they're the coolest ones in my opinion. I don't think I'm gonna be collecting too much into anime here. But we'll see how that goes. Um, I'm a bit over the stages of anime in general in my life because there's messages in anime I see and I'm like, man, I don't like that. I don't like what that anime is teaching. So, and underline, once you start to see those messages, if you choose to accept it or not, it does kind of like mess with your head. Now, that's just on a deeper level. I do look at that kind of stuff in stories, and I do look at stuff I can relate to in stories, and I just don't like some of the messages anime relates. Now, I still like certain animes, but I don't like certain ones because of like messages I see within the show. It's like example, one of the biggest things I see within this anime, and this is something I notice, is the main antagonist is a very very young guy. Okay, a very a young guy who, how do I want to say this? Who he looks very underfed. Okay, and we get this idea in our head, and this goes out of context of what I'm talking here, but I just wanted to bring this up as an example why I don't really watch anime anymore. Um, but it enforces this idea to be healthy we have to be really, really slim. And these anime characters, they're so slim, they don't have any muscle mass. And I don't want to look like that. I don't want to look like skin and bone. That's what they look like mainly to me. You know, they don't look ripped at all. They look like they're skin and bone. And most times when you look at like Americanized like superhero stuff, you see a guy that's very, very muscular and very, very built compared to what you see in anime. Anime doesn't really have that. There are a few animes that have that, but it's not like a lot of the modern day anime. That's probably why I don't watch it anymore, is that you don't see that anymore. Like, as a guy, would you not want to look like Captain America? Would you not want to like look like Wolverine? Would you not want to look like the Incredible Hulk, even though he's massively huge? I do. So that's why I stick to um my most of my collection is American superhero or you know trading card games and stuff like that. So that's why I'm kind of sticking with what I'm into. Anime, some of it's okay, but there's a lot to anime. I'm like, I don't like the messages it relates to people. That's just my take and my opinion. So, um, but yeah, that's why I've been collecting those Funko Pops and all that. And there's stuff coming out related to anime that I used to like. And somebody told me that like it's trading card games, okay? Bandai Namco has been releasing trading card games, but a lot of people have been telling me Bandai Namco had really bad mechanics within their trading card games. Like somebody told me One Piece. One Piece, everybody loves One Piece. But somebody told me the mechanics in it are not as great as they should be. And this is going into a lot of Bandai's trading card games actually. So that's why I was like, I'm probably not gonna play. Now Naruto's coming out. I do like the show Naruto, but I'm at a point now where it's like Naruto had a good story and great storytelling, except for like that back story of that swing or whatever it was. And it just went on and on and on. And I started, as I've gotten older and stopped watching it, it is still a great story, but it's like not my thing anymore. Most time we move past things, and I think I've moved to past the whole aspect of anime. I got back into Marvel, um, and I got back into the stuff that I used to do all the time. And Magic the Gathering back then was just something I would go to weekly. I made friends, and I did that. So that's why all this is coming about, and I started this collection channel and started getting back into that kind of stuff. So now, sorry, long story short, that's pretty much why. Um, so I won't be playing the Naruto game. And then the other topic I want to talk about here on this channel, because this is something a lot of people, had an opinion about, and I have an opinion about this too. Okay, so now let me drop the screen here and show you what I'm talking about. So there's this guy right here, Muscles and Magic the Gathering. Okay, now he's a well-known content creator in Magic the Gathering, but recently he released a few videos and a few shorts that really he was very opinionated about it. And let me see if I can find that video. Now, I'm not going to watch it. Oh, it's right here. Maybe it's not for you. Okay. This guy said some takes in this video, and I listened to the whole thing, and he don't know what he's talking about. Okay. He has it in his head, and he didn't give this take just once. He gave this take outside of the video too. And everybody's like, well, what do you, why are you saying this? What's wrong with you? Like, I'm sure he's not a bad person, but he's doing this as an example of it seeming like he gets stuff for free, and he's been throwing it in people's faces, and then getting to the point of like, well, nobody else should be allowed to have that. If you're broke, you shouldn't even be playing this game, and that's pretty much what he's doing here. He's he's given an opinion and take about this that is so over the top, and really turning the community against him over these takes. Now, I will even say a returning player like myself thinks this guy needs to rethink what he's saying. Now, let me see if my volume's up, and I'll show you guys an example of the short real quick that I'm talking about, because this is just insane what he said. So my volume should be fine. All right, where is it? Okay, so here, let me.
I'm about to say something that in today's Magic the Gathering landscape is extreme.
Why is it not showing up?
I'm about to say something that in today's Magic the Gathering landscape is extremely controversial, but it actually shouldn't be. Maybe collector booster boxes were never meant to be cheap. Just maybe they were meant to be an ultra premium product. And with any ultra premium product comes an ultra premium price tag. Now, before you get upset and rush to the comments to put me on blast, let me explain myself and my logic. I'm going to start off by talking about your standard play boosters. You see these here? These are for everyone. These are game pieces. This box right here contains everything you need to do to play the game of Magic the Gathering. The card mechanics and the power of the cards are no different than what you'd find in, say, a collector booster box. As long as you can afford these cards right here, you're not restricted from playing the game in any single way. And that's what people always say, that above all else, Magic the Gathering is a game that we play. In fact, personally, on a side note, I think that these play booster boxes should be a lot cheaper, genuinely, so that everybody can enjoy this beautiful game that we all love so much. Because again, and I'll repeat, these contain all the play pieces that we need to enjoy Magic the Gathering. And if you look closely at this box, the title says it all. Play boosters. These allow every single person to play. But these boxes right here, these are different. And the title of these boxes says it all. These are collector booster boxes. These are for collectors. And you don't need these cards to play the game at all. These are meant to be ultra premium products, premium printings of the cards, special printings of the cards, ultra rare printings of the cards. And like I said earlier in the video, when you have an ultra premium product, when you have ultra...
All right, so I'm going to stop there and get back to my screen here, because I don't want to, like, just in case they copyright strike me. Okay, so that is one of the worst takes you could give. And collectible cards are not meant to be premium products, no matter how you look at it. His take on that is just freaking horrible. And saying maybe it's not for you is not the best way of going about it. My opinion is Magic the Gathering needs to lower the prices on that, regardless of what cards are in that pack. It just blows my mind somebody's saying that. That's like let's just say Pokemon does that. Now, they do have boxes and all that I can't afford, but people do go out and buy them. And it just really blows my mind that, somebody thinks that way. And I don't know. I know a lot of people don't like his take, and that is one of the worst takes ever. And I posted that myself on social media, and people were like making fun of this guy, because that take is one of the worst takes anybody could ever say in the Magic the Gathering community. Because they were never originally that price to begin with. Somebody explained to me Back in the day, they were like $20. Now, I don't remember collector's boosters, but I never really bought collector's boosters either. I always bought the play boosters. And when you look at it, he's just he's saying stuff that blows my mind because he's like, "Oh, well, people should pay more for these cards considering the fact that they're a couple of $1,000s if you pull that out of there." And it's not like you're getting okay, so you're not getting life-changing cards out of that. You're not getting game changers out of it. You're getting the same exact cards you are out of the play boosters. So why would you even say that? And considering the fact that I pulled a couple big cards out of the play boosters that are the same type of card, just modified different, and it just really baffles me why he would say that, because what Magic should do is take a card out of those every now and then and slip it into the play boosters. Make the community more happy and make it easier for the people that don't buy the collector's boosters to be able to pull those cards. One single card out of those collector's boosters would be nice to find in a single player booster pack. You don't have to put them in all of them, but put them in a player booster pack or something like that. And the whole game's changed since I last played, because I remember finding like starters decks and then finding and then you get two booster packs on top of it, which originally was the format of how Magic was selling stuff, and then it changed up since I've been back, which I have a few gripes and moans and groans about it, but it's not entirely horrible. I can still play the game and enjoy the game. But my point is like what he's saying about the collector's boosters, that is crazy, man. Like, and collector's boosters should not be 40, $50. They should be dropping in price. Now, if you look at the gift bundle I was talking about earlier, they're around $100. Okay, and you're getting you're getting a set of boosters in there. You're getting one of those premium collector packs. You're getting a promo card, and you're getting some other stuff within that pack. That equals out to a price of $100. With collector's boosters, you were paying a lot more for that and getting less out of that than you would paying for the you're getting a lot more out of the gift bundle. Let's just put it that way. And you're getting a lot more out of a booster player pack. Excuse me. And you're getting a lot more out of a jump starter pack, which a jump starter pack is 240, I think. I'm not sure how many, but like they put mini decks together so you can play the game together, and you're getting more out of that too. So this guy don't know what he's talking about, and a lot of people have gave their own opinion and take, but when he's saying it's not for you, it's like that's pretty much like saying, "Oh, you're not rich, don't play this game anymore." Don't And a lot of Magic the Gathering players, they're collectors. A lot of them do collect what they have, And when you think about it, when you do buy the when you do buy the player booster packs or anything Magic the Gathering, you're going to end up building a binder and collecting it. So whatever he's talking about it for himself. His opinion was a very inward opinion and not an outward opinion. He's not thinking about how like everybody else feels. And part of me is like, is he saying this to farm clout? Because that seems like what it is. Anyway, um, but yeah, that's my opinion and take on this whole thing. But all in all, a lot of good stuff going on in it on this channel and coming in the future. Haven't really gotten too much into collecting video games, because if I collect those, I kind of want to have a way to play them too. So in the future that'll come, but for now I've been collecting a lot of cards. I also went into collecting HRO DC cards, and the price on those is pretty good. I have a very small collection of those, but I collected the Chapter 3, and they are around really cool looking. I might actually post shorts on those in the future and show you guys what they look like. Um, but I didn't get nothing too crazy out of it. But I have a little bit of a collection going on. They're pretty cool looking, and I have Yu-Gi-Oh cards, which I don't know when I'm gonna start really building my collection on that, because Yu-Gi-Oh is a card game I used to play long, long ago. But then when the mechanics changed and they did this fusion technique, I sort of like stopped. And I used to collect Dragon Ball cards, and I haven't been, and the same goes for Digimon. I used to collect them, but I never played the Dragon Ball, and I never played Yu-Gi-Oh. I did play a few games of Pokemon in my life. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy how long it took to play it. Now, the newer version of it is very, very fun to play. Might end up building decks with that and playing that at some point, provided I get the right cards. I have some cards I can build a deck with, but it's not anything that I feel like I'm ready to play it as. But we'll see how that goes. I might start playing that as well. Um, but yeah, and then Yu-Gi-Oh, I might start playing that as well too. As for other card games right now, they're going to be on the back burner because I really, really am not trying to get into a million card games because it turns into a giant trap. So, but all right, I got everything off of my chest and everything out I wanted to talk about with you guys, and just stay tuned around the channel and keep an eye on it, and you'll see what I'm doing as time goes on, and I'll tune you guys in as to what is going on with me on the outside of the channel and what I've been doing to build the channel up. But in the meantime, keep collecting, keep gaming, keep rocking on, and take it easy, and have a blessed day. Oh, all right. Yeah.